Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I would just like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem, and some people I thank before I do my videos who have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Alona Nava, Rav Daniel Asor, Rav Yuval Ovadia, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, and Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism. And I will have links below this video so you can, just want to make sure this video is recording, so you can check them out as well. And this video, before I say that, is if you've never checked out the channel before, below this video I will also have a link to the first video, which is about 100 and something videos ago, Baruch Hashem, many videos, so you don't have to search through to find it, so you can understand what M.L.M for the soul is, what it means. It actually means something, it stands for something, and what I'm doing. So today we're going to do part 6 from this Artscroll book, The Power of Teshuvah by Rabbi Heshy Kleinman, and I will have a link to Artscroll below as well, so you can check out all the books that they offer. And the reason I want to continue, even though Rosh Hashanah is over, Yom Kippur is over, and we're in the midst of Sukkot, and when this is posted, it'll be Chol HaMoed, going into Hoshana Rabbah, Shmini Atzeres, Simchas Torah. So, but still, Teshuvah is always a good thing to work on. So this is time for Teshuvah part 6. And last time we left off, I mentioned there are strategies for clearing the path to Teshuvah. So in the last thing I talked about, if you're following along in the videos, number 5, that there were 10 different strategies. So I'm going to go through them in this book and try to keep this video to a certain amount of time. I have it timed now. So, and then we'll see how far we get. So my plan is probably to do this up to 10 videos, so that would be another 5, including this one. So the first strategy is called going the right way. Okay, there's a story here about when a fire breaks out. You need to take the escape route. Well, which way do you go, left or right? Which stairwell? Like, you have all these questions. You don't know which way you're supposed to go. So then the question is, do Teshuvah? Indeed, it is the only way to escape from a spiritual conflagration ignited by sin. On the spiritual level, Teshuvah is as urgent as an escape from a blazing building, whose success we would want to ensure to the highest possible degree. Teshuvah is not a place for random efforts in different directions. It is a place for precise, knowledgeable action. The person who wants to do Teshuvah must learn the specific escape route that Hashem prepared at the very inception of the world, because Teshuvah was created before the world was created. So it's above nature because it was created before the world actually existed. So only by following that route can we arrive safely at forgiveness and renewal. The Torah puts forth the commandment of Teshuvah with the following words, and this is from Devarim 30:11-14. For this mitzvah that I command you today, it is not hidden from you and it is not distant. So if you want to look it up in Hebrew, this is just the English. It is not in heaven for you to say, who will ascend to heaven for us and take it for us so that we can listen to it and perform it? Nor is it across the sea for you to say, who can cross to the other side of the sea for us and take it for us so that we can listen to it and perform it? Rather, the matter is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart to perform it. So it's close. It's not far away. It's right here. It's basically right in front of your face. The word, quote, this mitzvah, in the above verse refers to Teshuvah. For anyone who sins, Teshuvah is an obligation akin to other positive mitzvahs, such as donning tefillin. Teshuvah is defined by specific laws which are as imperative as, for example, the laws of Chametz. We cannot fulfill the mitzvah unless we act in accordance with our learning. To engage in proper Teshuvah, we must apply our time and effort to study the laws and effectively eradicate the sin. It is not enough to simply feel badly and go on with life. Even if we cannot tackle all of our deficiencies at once, Hashem accepts the Teshuvah we're able to do and considers it worthy of merit. So don't think that you have to fix it completely. Like you did something that wasn't right, and you gotta like change everything. You work on it. Every little bit helps, and Hashem appreciates it and loves it. So don't negate that. Excuse me. It's worthwhile to note that although, quote, charity saves from death, it does not substitute for tshuva. Attempting to achieve the benefit of tshuva through charity is compared to trying to, quote, bribe Hashem. We can't do that. He doesn't accept any bribes. This is not effective, like it says right here, the pasuk in Devarim 10:17. Hashem does not show favor and does not accept bribes. So, unlike the courts in the physical world, where unfortunately judges don't always do things exactly the way they're supposed to, up there above, there's nothing like that. You can't worm your way out of anything. Everything is seen, everything is known, and you have to own up to it. So it's best to correct yourself here. Therefore, even if a person tries to counterbalance his sins by performing other outstanding mitzvahs such as charity, he has not mitigated the sin that distances him from Hashem. So, but it says underneath here in the notes, Shari Teshuvah says, where it is explained that there are sins that even after one has done Teshuvah still requires afflictions to achieve forgiveness. It is in those situations that, quote, charity saves one from death applies. However, in all circumstances, Teshuvah is necessary, so regardless. Like a powerful medicine capable of defeating a devastating disease, Teshuvah must contain the right measure of a precise ingredients. These are contained in the essential halachos of Teshuvah, which appear in the section at the end of the book. So at the end of the book, there's a section called Halachos, the laws of Teshuvah, which I don't know that we'll go into, because the other thing I want to do is the techniques for enduring Teshuvah. So I don't know if we'll get to all the laws within these next 5 videos. So points to ponder here. Teshuvah offers a priceless benefit, and therefore there are criteria that must be met. There is no way, not even through giving charity, to bypass the requirements of Teshuvah. Next strategy, 2, small steps. So anything you do, like when you're giving, the story is when you're giving tzedakah, it's better to give, if you have 1,000, it's better to give to one recipient or give to 100 recipients. Of course, it's better to give more frequent, smaller donations because you're giving over time. Instead of giving one, it's just one. But if you give incrementally, it's much better. So this is the case in all spiritual matters. All is according to the abundance of the action. As much as one monumental, selfless act can have a great impact on a person and change him or her for the better, 100 smaller deeds will eventually have an even greater influence. Change is not a one-time occasion. It is a process in which each step is valuable. Once change is initiated, it nourishes itself, allowing small changes the potential to snowball into big changes. So you do a little, it can grow into a lot. So don't negate that. Likewise, each repetition of a small victory over the Yetzer Hara, the tefillah you don't skip, the sarcastic mark you don't say, strengthens the Yetzer Tov. So by not doing something, too, that you shouldn't be doing, like saying Lashon Hara, or like he says, doing certain things, will benefit you because you're benefiting your Yetzer Tov. By the same token, small accommodations to the Yetzer Hara build its power, and we don't want to do that. We want to lessen his power. The battle for our souls is fought choice by choice, mitzvah by mitzvah. Hashem promises that when we choose His will, even in the smallest matter, He will expand the opening we have made in our hearts. So this is from... So we have to seize the moment. So Hashem says, we'll give you an opening the size of a needle, and then if you give me, then He'll give you, expand it. So you just poke your way through a little. It is in small steps that we approach Hashem. This is indicated by the 3 steps forward we take before reciting Shemona Esrei. They represent the 3 times the word Vayigash, and He approached appears in Tanakh. Tanakh, in case you don't know, it's Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, the 3 parts: the Torah, the prophets, and the writings. Even though Hashem is everywhere, by deliberately taking 3 steps forward, we demonstrate a desire to come closer to Him. No matter where we stand during the year, it is to our benefit to take small steps to achieve Teshuvah in anticipation of our King's, quote, visit. Points to ponder. It's preferable to consistently do small mitzvahs than occasional grand mitzvahs. Setting small goals feeds success and builds into major changes. Hashem expands the power of our small efforts. Let's see how we're doing on time. Okay, so we're going to do strategy 3. Increase Yiras Shamayim. If service to Hashem is a Jew's, quote, job, then Yiras Shamayim is his tool for performing it. The Jew is no more able to live a full Jewish life without Yiras Shamayim than a carpenter is able to bang in a nail without a hammer. If you don't have a hammer, you can't bang the nail. So, same thing applies with Yiras Shamayim. This is a lesson King David taught when he wrote in Tehillim, serve Hashem with Yira. With Yira means that we are to serve Hashem with a tool called Yira. Yira is the tool that secures our connection with Hashem, ensuring that we cling to His will with tenacity. Rabbeinu Yonah explains that of all the qualities one must possess to serve Hashem, Yira is first and foremost, as the Torah lists Yira first. It says in, Devarim 13:5, Hashem, your G-O-D, shall you follow, and Him shall you fear. His commandments shall you observe, and to His voice shall you hearken. Him shall you serve, and to Him shall you cleave. So it says fear first. Although the word Yira, as used in the Torah, is translated and understood as fear, the Rambam defines Yira as awe. Recognizing Hashem's greatness not only leads us to love Him, but to be in awe of Him as well. So, we look around the world, like you can see in back of me, all these beautiful trees. I mean, aren't you in awe? Look at the colors. I mean, the sunlight is hitting it, but look at all the shapes, and that one's pointy, and this one's this way. I mean, how can you not be in awe? I mean, just every little leaf, little branch, little, twig, everything. However, despite the distinction drawn by Rambam, the two definitions of Yira are really two levels of the same phenomenon. They talk about that there's also Yiras Haromimus, whose origins are from love, similar to a child whose love for his father is so great that he fears that he may not fulfill the will of his father. The Yira that we define as fear is Yiras Ha'onesh. So that's fear of the punishment. The lesser level Yira, that is the fear of Hashem's punishing us for sinning, either in this world or the next. The greater level of Yira, like I just mentioned, that was from the notes, Yiras Haromimus, which is awe of Hashem, is associated with recognizing Hashem's greatness, which inspires us to love Him. In order to sin, a person pushes away his Yira. In order to do Teshuvah, he must let this awareness back into his consciousness. Whether a person is driven by Yiras Ha'onesh or Yiras Haromimus, there can be no Teshuvah without some aspect of Yira. So always have to consider there has to be some aspect. A person who accepts Hashem as the king over every aspect of creation and who believes that his own deeds invoke reward or punishment in both this world and the next is driven to look for the meaning in his life's circumstances. In contradistinction, those who believe their misfortunes are the result of coincidences or bad luck have lost their connection to God, and the Torah and mitzvahs. A belief in happenstance stops Teshuvah in its tracks, because there's no such thing. Everything Hashem does is for the very best. So we're just going to finish up this one today, I believe. The Torah itself decries a belief in happenstance, including it among the sins that evoke tragedies. The Rambam warns one should not be like agnostics who go with happenstance in their hearts. Misfortune can only motivate us toward Teshuvah if we have Yira, the firm internal knowledge that everything that happens is Hashem's response to our every word and deed. So we create the response of Hashem by what we do. So what we do leads to what happens next. The Rambam derives this concept from the verse, Hashem your God shall you follow, your G-O-D, and Him shall you fear. And that's from Devarim 13:5 that we said before. He explains, one should believe that it is in Hashem's hands to eradicate life and to give life, and He counts sins and compensates with reward. For the person with Yira, Teshuvah is the clear path to a life of blessing. Points to ponder, Yira is the primary tool for serving Hashem. Yira enables a person to recognize Hashem's hand in the events of his life, thereby motivating Teshuvah. So I just want to say in closing that, keeping with this theme of Yira, that I pray that we realize that we have to have the awe of Him and do what He asks of us, because we realize that we have to do His will, because He expects of us. It's like you don't want to disappoint your Father, and you should want to fulfill the will of your Father. So I pray that we all do that, all work on that continually, and that we will merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.